What's up guys, DuArktik here with another Marvel Strike Force video, and in this video we are going to talk about Rogue. And why are we talking about Rogue? We're going to talk about Rogue because you'll have the second chance of unlocking Rogue next week. Yes, we already have on the data mines that the Famine Scourge event is coming next week. So if you don't have Rogue unlocked, or if you want to get her to 7 yellow stars, you should start getting ready in order to do just that. So in this video we are going to take a look at the requirements for each of the nodes and which characters I used previously in order to beat these nodes. The Famine Scourge is very different from the Scourge we have going on right now, the War Scourge. The Famine Scourge is more about using a higher difficulty rather than using a lot of Scourges. Hopefully the developers will fix that, but if it's a copy of what we had before, it will be the case, and I'm gonna be honest with you, it's a terrible experience. The Famine Scourge is one of the worst scourges that we have had until now. As always, if you like the information on this video, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you are new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and make sure you smash that like button. Okay, so let's get started. We have Rogue. She's part of the Unlimited XMen, and she's a horseman character, and she's also part of a saga. So this is very important because we also have a saga coming up very soon. You can find here epic campaigns, then you go to the Apocalypse Saga, and as you can see right here, Rogue Saga will be available in 23 days. Of course we'll be doing this live and then we'll make videos about it, but this is one of the reasons why the Rogue Scourge is coming up soon. It's because the week after the Scourge for Rogue, you'll have the Saga. Okay, so that's why we need to start preparing for this. The first difficulty, usually it's not a big problem, but the second difficulty, it's usually a big deal, and it requires your characters to be somewhere at gear tier 16 and level 90, so keep that in mind. The last difficulty, it requires gear tier 17, so that's not even possible for most players. So you want to focus our efforts on the first difficulty and on the second difficulty. In case you want to unlock the awaken abilities for Rogue, you need to complete the second ability. This is going to give some additional effects to her basic attack and also to the passive attack. So you can see right here, the basic attack will attack one additional time, and it will have 25% more crit chance based on how many horseman characters are on the team. And with the passive, you can see that all clones from horseman characters will have HP reduced. This is actually not working right now. I don't know if the developers are aware of this, but the best part is that Apocalypse and Horseman characters, Red Hulk and Morgan Le Fay, will get a boost of 25% damage. This is gonna be a big deal, very big deal, and especially in Arena where you want to use all these characters together. So you definitely want to do that Famine Saga on difficulty 1 and on difficulty 2, and for that you really need to have thanks for the sub. And for that, we really need to have a Rogue as massive as possible. Okay, so let's take a look at the requirements. You can find this on my Discord. There is a part where it says Scourges, and then you can find Famine Saga, Famine Discussion, Pestilence Saga, Pestilence Discussion, and so on. Okay, so the requirements are for Node 1 and 2, it's city characters. You can see right here, Node 1 and 2, city characters. Then we have mutants. Then we have the Scourge Specials, and for Scourge Specials we have Young Avengers, A-Force and Inhumans. Then we have villains, then we have Cosmic Mystic, which is a very limited amount of characters that we have available. And then we have once again Scourge Specials, once again A-Force, Young Avengers and Inhumans. Now the best team for the Scourge Specials, nodes 5 and 10, are going to be Young Avengers, but it will be convenient for you to sack node 5 with Inhumans, and it will be nice for you as well to sack node 10 with A-Force. This is if you want to have an easier time on this scourge, because like I mentioned before, this is one of the worst scourges that we have available, and you have to use all kinds of tricks and exploits in order to do this as easy as possible. Okay, so with these tags in mind, let's take a look at the characters that I used, and the characters that I think they are the best in case you want to have the easiest time, in case you want to one-shot or at least have a very smooth time throughout this scourge. Okay, so for the first node you want to use this team: Squirrel Girl, Spider-Woman, Cloak, Dagger and Shang-Chi. This will allow you to one-shot the node extremely easy, and you want to make sure that your Squirrel Girl has her ultimate ready, so you can use it on the node number 5. Then for node number 2, you want to sack the node with any characters, but the end team is actually pretty good to do that. You want to sack the node 2, and this means you put these characters in the node and you just want them to die. This will allow you to waste the cooldowns on some of the enemies, so after you can go with your main team and get rid of those enemies. After the sacking, I used these characters: Cloak, Dagger, Dr. Octopus, Ghost Rider and Morbius, because these characters have been also used for the Famine, the Pestilence. These characters were also used for the Pestilence Scourge event, so it was a way to recycle characters that we had to get up before in order to get Morgan Le Fay. Okay, so moving on, for node number 3, you want to sack the node with the uncanny XMen, and the goal is to get the enemies as low as possible. So after, you can go with your astonishing XMen, and you can go full astonishing, or you can replace Kitty Pryde with Rogue. So you want to sack the node with uncanny, you want to get the enemies as low as possible, so after you go with your astonishing, and then you can just destroy the enemies and get additional turn meter on this node number 4. This is especially convenient because there is a Hela as an enemy, and she will spawn Gregs, and you can use those Gregs to get additional turn meter. If you have less than 4 astonishing XMen characters, it will be the case that you'll not get enough Greg kills in order for you to have a full turn meter advantage. So keep this in mind. This is why you want just to take Rogue or no Rogue at all, full astonishing XMen, after you sack the node, of course. Now, in this node you'll have Hela. You need to keep Hela alive all the time, because you always want to have Greg alive all the time, so be careful with the splash damage. Okay, after that we have node number 4, and for node number 4 it's also mutants, but you can take this team: Omega Red, Silver Samurai, Sabretooth, Mr. Sinister and Emma Frost. Your goal is to clone the enemy Emma Frost, and like that you'll have 2 Emma Frosts, so you'll reduce the speed of the enemies by 20%. This is 100% massive, and this will allow you to one-shot the node extremely easy. This is all strategies that you can one-shot the nodes or have a very easy time sacking the node and then cleaning it up after. Okay, so this team is for node number 5, once again: Mr. Sinister, Sabretooth, Silver Samurai, Omega Red and Emma Frost. And the goal is clone the enemy Emma Frost and you win. Then we have the node number 5 team. So like I said, you want to sack the node with Inhumans, because Yo-Yo is going to reduce the enemy's damage by 50%, because she's always applying the offense down. That will allow you to consume a lot of the ultimates from the enemies. The most important things that you want is to stop Zemo from doing his ultimate, and also stop Yellow Jacket from doing his ultimate. Those are going to be extremely convenient for you. And after that you can go with your main team, the Young Avengers, and then you'll have a very easy time clearing up that node. Okay, so that's for node number 5. Then we have node number 6 and number 7, which requires villains. Villains is the same that we had with the Pestilence events, is the same that we have with the War event that we are having right now. And you just want to take Agatha Harkness, Morgan Le Fay, Omega Red, Lady Deathstrike and Emma Frost. You want to use the same characters as often as possible. So if you can double up on mutant nodes, villain nodes, and so on, that's exactly what you want to do, so you don't have to invest on unnecessary characters. Then we have the cosmic mystic nodes, and these nodes can be a little bit tricky. And one of the ways that you can maybe exploit these nodes is with Thanos and Icarus. Whenever you kill an enemy, Thanos will give energy to Icarus, so you can keep spamming his ultimate over and over again. And then we have Ebony Maw in order to give defense up and offense down to the enemies, and also some slow. You could also put Ebony Maw and Thanos together with Icarus to spread the energy to both of them, so you always have the defense up ready. But like this, it's also good as well. Then you have Cersei to turn rewind the enemies more, to flip positive effects. And you can use Deathpool, or you can use Strange Supreme, depends on who you have geared up the most and who you find more convenient. I like to use Deathpool here because she gives Drain to all of them, and that requires you to not have an healer on this team. Overall, this is pretty good. It will be convenient for you to use Thanos as a fortifier, and that really depends on the difficulty. If you are doing difficulty 7 or difficulty 8, this team is going to be fine. If you are going to try difficulty 9 or difficulty 10, then you need to have Dormammu on this team. So you'll need the Eternals, Dormammu, and someone else. Otherwise, you'll not be able to do it. Okay, so that's for nodes number 8 and number 9. Finally, we have the last node, node number 10. And for this node, you'll face enemy Icarus, so you want to use a Saga team in order to get the cooldowns of Icarus and also his special. It's very, very important for you to consume those two abilities in case you want to clear the node. A lot of people just clear the first 9 nodes and then they finish their Scourge run because it's so hard to deal with that Icarus. But once again, if you want to do that, if you want to get rid of that Icarus, use a Saga team with A-Force, consume the ultimate and the special of Icarus, and for this you can use the 4 characters at the same time, or you can use 2 Saga teams, so for example one with Captain Marvel and Jessica Jones, and the other one with Nico Minoru and A-Force. You really want to get that ultimate and that special. After that, you go with your Young Avengers, and then you try to prioritize Icarus, but at the same time you have to deal with the Hero Asgardians that you face on that node, and they are extremely annoying. The node number 10 is not easy at all. It requires a few tries and requires your team to be very, very big. So this is why I'm saying that it might not even be worth it to gear up these characters more, because after that their value is very, very low, and after you are done with the Famine Scourge the first time and the second time and so on, these characters will have a lot of diminishing returns. So this is something that you consider if it's going to be worth it or not to clear that node number 10. Okay, so those are the teams I recommend. These were the teams exactly that I used. To great success. It allowed me to get a 6 yellow star rogue without a lot of effort. As you guys know, I do the best I can to save my time, and if I can get like the War Scourge 3 million points without of investment, that's exactly what I'm gonna do. And the same applied to the Famine Scourge event. It was just not worth it to get rogue higher than a 6 yellow star, because it's impossible to get 7 yellow star without spending tons and tons of resources. And you'll have more runs in the future, so if you don't get your rogue to 7 yellow stars now, don't worry about it. You'll be able to get it after that. Okay, so we are ending the video, and if you guys want to see exactly how this plays out, you can find you go to YouTube, you type Famine Scourge DuArktik, and you'll be able to find my runs. We have this one right here with 9,000 views, so if you want to reach 10,000 views over there, you can check it out. It's very in detail, and it has exactly the nodes. It doesn't have attempts. It's exactly what you have to execute in each of the nodes, so that's going to be very, very approachable in case you want to start to get ready for this Famine Scourge, and especially if you have never done it before. Okay guys, so that's gonna be the video. I hope you guys enjoy it. How you can prepare yourself for the upcoming Famine Scourge event and get your rogue ready for the upcoming Saga that will be coming in 20 days. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you smash that like button, and if you found information helpful on this video, make sure you share it with your friends on Facebook and Discord. If you're new to my channel, make sure you subscribe for more Marvel Strike Force content, and I will catch you guys later.